Hello, 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 hello. Let's see if you guys can hear me. I feel like you can. Looks like the little bar is on. Let me get, maybe I have one here. So as you guys are hopping on live, welcome to your Monday evening. I feel like we have a lot to get through. Okay. I always feel like I have a lighter here. But then I don't. And then I regret those moments. Anyway, it's okay. If you are joining me live, this is the first time that we met. Hello, hello. My name is Meshi. I'm a meditation teacher. I'm an intuitive healer and a guide, and I'm here to really teach you guys and help you use the spiritual practices and use spirituality in a really tangible way so that you can actually create a positive impact in your life and you can move through with your manifestation. So if that sounds good, you would probably really, really like it here. And we get together here every single Monday evening and we go through we go through everything. We go through every single sign. So you will see in the chat, I will leave the timestamps. And if you're watching this on the replay, I would love to know that you're watching this on the replay. Hopefully the messages resonate. If they don't, it's okay. It could be a prediction or it could just be that it's simply not for you. And just try to leave it with a neutral energy. Take a moment while I'm adjusting my chair here. While you are arriving, if you are arriving after your full day of working on a Monday, take a moment to really arrive here, to really leave behind whatever you were doing up to this point and really get here so that you can actually receive the messages that are coming through. Because I do believe that we need to be energetically kind of reset so that whatever we need to hear can actually come through. So take a moment, take a deep breath through the nose and slow and release. Let's do that one more time. Inhale through the nose and just sigh it out. Beautiful. I would love to have a lighter so that I can actually reset this energy. Give me a moment. I'm hoping that I have one here. I keep thinking I do, but I don't. It's okay. All right. So let's get right into this. Aries, you are up first. So Aries, so we have 315 Aries. Let's see what you need to know for this week. It's an interesting week. I just feel like there's so much that is coming through when it comes to just how you guys are really approaching joy, how you're approaching fun. And there's a big invitation for most of you to really just find and redefine what fun means for most of you. Okay, first up, we have open the door. What does Aries need to know? We have serenity. And we have 9 of Wands. So first we have the Golden Healer Quartz. Open the door. Then we have I am calm, I am peaceful and serene. So we have serenity. And we have the 9 of Wands. I feel like most of you are on the verge of something Well, we've been talking a lot about like this new chapter that is starting, but I think that you're just right there. You're just right at the edge. But I also feel like some of you are really scared to kind of move through, and there's a bit of an attachment almost to like the meaning of it. Like, what does that mean? You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like you're adding too much meaning and too much of yourself into what that will mean, instead of just allowing it to energetically and just organically kind of unfold for you. The other thing is that like I kind of feel like you guys are very much just sitting in that space where it's like you kind of feel like you need to be doing something. Like it's almost like there's that expectation that you should be doing a lot more. Ooh, I don't feel like we have sound. Okay. Let me restart this because, oh no, maybe we don't. No, you know what? Maybe we do have sound. I can't tell right now. Let me restart this, you guys. Because I don't trust this. I don't trust the sound. I don't trust my microphones right now. I feel like it's on. On my end here, it shows that it's on. Let me take a look before I shut it down. It's always with the technical difficulties.
Always with the technical difficulties.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. Okay, we're not shutting it down. We're okay. Okay, Aries, sorry I'm interrupting your reading. I feel like I definitely feel like you're going to be moving into this new space energetically. And the way that you can kind of get there is like you're invited to kind of get there by embracing peace and whatever that means for you, by embracing the present moment. I guess that's more like it. It's more like just embrace not only the process but also embrace like having that peaceful confidence rather than that really insecure kind of jagged energy, right? And I also feel like with the 9 of Wands, you're to me the 9 of Wands here really represents like your momentum, like you're almost there. Like to me this entire thing is going to be almost like it's going to be really dedicated to creating that momentum that you're really hoping for or that you've been working on. And I think that you're almost at that finish line. But take a look at what opportunities, if any, is kind of coming through for you if you're working on a side hustle. And also take a look at sort of how you're feeling in the process. I guess the invitation here for you and your message essentially is, how do you feel in the process of like kind of manifesting your wildest dreams? How does that feel? Can you get there through staying present throughout the entire process rather than trying to rush through? Rather than sort of like just focusing on your momentum and focusing on that gusto, that gas that you have, that you just kind of want to get going. Don't focus too much. Focus on actually enjoying that process as it's unfolding for you. That was an interesting one. Okay, Taurus, you're up next. We have 8:19. No, 8:44. Okay, Taurus, what do you need to know? And if you're joining me live, I'm hoping you can actually hear me. On my end, I'm showing that you can, but with technology and live streams, you just never know how. You just never know. Hi, Taurus. What do you need to know for this week? So first up, we have trust. Taurus, what do you need to know? We have smoky quartz, letting go. What do you need to know? And we have the Queen of Pentacles. So let's get started. We have trust. it's almost like you're asked to lean right now, and that's probably going to feel extremely uncomfortable. Like you're being really pushed out of your comfort zone. You will be. You will be. It's almost like you're hitting that period of growth. Like I think some of you are hitting that period of growth, and then also within the trust, I think that where you are right now is in the space where in order for that thing that you truly desire, it's a different again, like I feel like we're going to be doing like this timeline jumping right now. Okay. So I just feel like right now you're at that space where this is what you want. You want to have that sense of freedom. You want to feel like everything is great. You're in full control of your emotions. Like money's flowing in. Like you have worked that aspect of your life out where you're not worried about the basics. Okay. But then the other part of it is that in order for that to happen, you need to create space. And right now you're absolutely going to be tested on creating that space and letting certain things go, ending certain relationships, because you have to realize that the version of you that is kind of showing up right now is manifesting these relationships. So it's almost like you finished learning that lesson. Like right now, like if you haven't yet, you're going to be kind of closing that off by the time we hit the full moon. And you're also asked to lean into something that doesn't make sense just yet. I'm kind of getting that you, even if it doesn't make sense yet, it will later. It will come together, but you need to kind of lean into that. So it almost like it has to start with you showing up with full faith, leaning forward first. You need to go first before we catch you. It's not an insurance policy. That's not how it works. Like I know that you want the stability, I know that you want the safety net, and create the safety net by creating that container that can hold you, instead of just being like, well, no, the universe will actually show me and will create the full safety net for me. Otherwise, I'm not taking any action. It doesn't work that way. If you want it bad enough, you will absolutely make it happen. And the way that you know if you want it bad enough is you need to tune back into your body, which also means that who will you listen to? You might be tested at this point. So just keep that in mind. Gemini. Gemini, you're up next, 1224. What do you need to know, Gemini? Let's start with this one. We have gratitude. Can we please talk about how gorgeous this is, by the way? Like, it's such a beautiful card. Geminis, what do you need to know? Oh, no, we've done Yeah, no, we are doing Gemini. My goodness, I'm losing it today, you guys. What do you need to know, Gemini? We have Angel Light. What do you need to know, Gemini? What do my Geminis need to know for this week, please? Okay. Gratitude. I pause for a moment of gratitude for the many blessings in my life. Angel Light is the support is all around you, and we have the Eight of Wands. Beyond like the surface level of what you would think of as be grateful, and you know what I mean? Beyond that, what is something that is happening for you guys right now? What is like something that is really working out for you? I feel like you guys really need to lean into gratitude, but you're going to be grateful for, maybe you're going to be grateful for having the ability of asking for help, or having the courage to ask for help, or just literally recognizing that you do need help, that it's over your head right now. And when those people, when you become humble enough to like actually ask for the help that you need and the support that you need, to see like who's actually there in your corner supporting you, who is supporting you? Is there somebody supporting you, or are they, how are the people around you acting when sort of the chips are down? And this is sort of when, if you're not really having the greatest time and you're having a hard time really tapping into gratitude, and you're having a hard time especially kind of recognizing where those silver linings are, it's okay. Like, it's okay to feel that. I don't believe that everything needs to be spun into this toxic positivity and, toxic spirituality where we're spinning everything into like everything is such a positive thing. No, I do think that you go through chapters where you're having a really tough time and you're going through like the darkest night of the night. But I think that you need to kind of recognize that we also have, well, first of all, if you can kind of sit within that and see what are the lessons, what is kind of coming through. So first of all, lean into that, lean into the support and who's around you. And I feel like with the Eight of Wands, you have some good news coming. You have something that you've been waiting for, that you wanted to have, or that you were manifesting, that is kind of trying to come through. But I also feel like that's going to come through a little bit easier if you ask for support. If you kind of, to me, this almost, like with the support, this almost just feels like delegating more than anything else. That's what that feels like. It feels like a sense of delegation more than anything else. Oh my goodness, you made it. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that you made it live. And let me just pause for just one moment. Okay, let's see. First of all, I hope that you can see me and hear me, because with live streams, you just never know. It's always a challenge. And now for the next 2 moments, it's going to get super loud because we're just receiving food. Oh my goodness, they're so cute. They just got the food. Cutest little tribe ever. Okay, let's see who is coming up next. We have Cancer. Hi, Joe. Oh, I know it's you, Joe. It's all you, girl. Okay, we have Cancer. So we have 17, 22, Cancer. Okay, Cancer, let's see what you need to know. Well, this already popped out. No, that's the same thing. Okay. Cancer, what do you need to know? So first up, we have courage. Ooh, courage. To me, this almost feels like the Fool card. Okay. Cancer, what do you need to know for the week? We have citrine. And what do you need to know, Cancer? What do you need to know? We have 7 of Wands. To me, this whole thing just feels like you're asked to lean in and take a leap of faith, but take a leap of faith by betting on you. You know what I mean? But not just betting on you, but also to like move forward with whatever that nudge has been for most of you. Because I feel like some of you just, it's like there's this inkling that has been trying to come through and you don't really know kind of what to do with that. It's sort of like, do I lean into that? Or is this just something that would be like a nice to have? Like, it's almost like you guys had a hard time having faith in whatever was kind of trying to come through. And the other thing is that especially with the citrine, to me, every time I see citrine, even though like your message is bring in the light, yes, bring it in, but it's almost like cultivate your own inner light and lean into what brings you joy. Like, lean into those things that actually light you up, because I think that you haven't really given yourself permission to do that a lot. And I also think that there is a sense of, I don't know, this is like the cutest little card. Can we please talk about that? With the Seven of Wands, I just feel like right now, in all the ways, to me, this kind of means that you kind of need to see beyond the blocks. Like, where is the block, and then what is that showing you? But also standing up for the things that you actually believe in. So, in a huge way, I think that whatever you're starting in however it's going, this does not feel like it's pertaining to your relationship, to be honest. This very much feels like side hustle. You're starting a business. You're working on your own inner healing, and then you're kind of asked. Well, it could be in your relationship too, I guess, but I'm not feeling that that's what it is. I feel like right now, like you're on this manifestation journey where you're kind of moving into that next phase of creating something, but basically, Spirit is just asking you to do that while you're tapping into the things that light you up. Don't tap into the things that logically make money. Tap into the things that actually light you up, that actually bring you joy. Because the things that bring you joy usually are the ones that are also of service of other people as well. And but then also stand up for the things that you believe in. So I feel like this is also going to be something, if you're kind of sitting on the fence of like, what should I do? What will be the thing that will kind of save me, or what will be the thing that will actually help me move forward? It will be the very thing that not only it's sort of like it's going to be aligning with your values more than anything else. Like, and it's going to feel like you're kind of like bettering humanity. You know what I mean? Interesting. Leo, you're up next. What do you need to know, Leo? We have balance. We have aventurine. Aventurine. Create your own luck. What do you need to know, Leo? You have Three of Swords. Okay. This week, more than any other week, I want you to look at ways that you can, it's almost like, can you rig the system in your favor? And the way that you do that is by really understanding and looking at how does that system that you're trying to kind of create expansion in, how is that set up? Because I feel like up to this point, you guys have been very much attached to, it's almost like up to this point, you've been attached to it emotionally so much that it's almost like it was attached to your worth. And right now, when we're kind of detaching from that, the invitation for this week is actually to kind of look at the system, understand how it works, and detach your worth from that. And just know that it's almost like it's not you as the system. You know what I mean? Especially when I don't know why monies keep coming through, but I'm getting money. But I'm getting money as in not just money, but I'm actually getting more relationships as well, where within your relationships, it's like you might be like asking yourself, like, why do I feel blocked? And why is this not working? Or why am I not picking up momentum? That's more like, why am I not picking up momentum? Like, or where is that block with this person? And then in the meanwhile, what you're still doing is you're sort of like comparing yourself and what you're doing to other people's. So basically with the Three of Swords, like I feel like in a huge way, you're creating your own suffering. And you can absolutely stop that by basically understanding that it's not you. Like the things that are happening are kind of like a reflection for you. and kind of like you're asked to kind of tip the scale, but then also stop comparing your circumstances, the way that you are, the way that you're show up, and the way that you are energetically to how everybody else is, because your journey and everything that is about you is so unique to you, you know. And you can absolutely tip the scale to be in your favor, but you need to first recognize that you can. You know what I mean? So it's almost like your message, ultimately your message is not only to create balance and harmony within your weeks and within this coming week as we're moving closer to the full moon, but then also kind of be a little bit kinder to yourself and stop comparing who you are and how you do things to how other people are showing up. And I feel like there is a lot of comparison that is already taking place on social media. There's already a lot of like really unrealistic expectation from you guys, and you might be feeling a bit stubborn about and frustrated. It's more like I'm getting frustrated that it's like, why is this not working the way that I thought that it would? And the thing is that it's like, but you just need to understand that the way that you're show up, that version of you, again, like with the timeline hopping, if you want a different outcome, a different version of you needs to show up. So energetically, you need to kind of jump. And we've talked a lot about that. And if you guys ever want to learn kind of how to do that, I will teach you how to do that. That's like this week's sponsor. And I will talk to you about that at the very end of this video. But basically what you need to understand is in order for you to not only create balance, it's almost like that inner balance that you need to create. It's not so much like, oh, I need to give a little bit into fun and a little bit into my relationships and a little bit into like my finances, or I like, that's not the type of balance that I'm talking about here. To me, this balance is about really understanding how you are emotionally and how the world kind of sees you. So it's like that tipping back and forth of masculine and feminine energy that you need to kind of balance out. But this thing with the Three of Swords, I feel like the majority of your suffering is truly, and like more of that heartache is really coming from like having this attachment and this love affair with an illusion, like an illusion that doesn't actually exist. So if you can let go of that and kind of break up with that, then you can kind of see the present moment for what it is. You're actually going to create a lot more freedom for yourself. Let's see who is next. We have Virgo. So 2720, we have Virgo. Let's see what you guys need to know. Virgo, you're up next. What does Virgo need to know for the week, please? Virgo, what do you guys need to know? We have Luna. Again, another beautiful card. Virgo, what do you need to know? We have Pink Opal. Like this. Virgo, what do you need to know? I feel like we're behind schedule. I'm going at a slower pace today. It's okay. And we have Ace of Swords. I'm always like on the verge of coughing. Okay. Luna. Where are we listening to your intuition? Where are we not listening to your intuition? Where are we ignoring your intuition? What is your intuition trying to tell you? That feminine energy, that the one that you guys really don't want to listen to right now. What is she trying to tell you? She's trying to tell you to be a little bit nicer to yourself in small ways. Like think macro. Like don't think like these huge, most people think when we're thinking of like especially self-love, self-respect, like what I'm kind of talking about self-love and self-respect has a lot more to do with your inner dialogue. How do you talk to yourself? How do you talk to yourself when you get stressed or when you get disappointed or when you kind of let yourself down, right? What is that conversation looking like? That's sort of where the invitation is, especially how do you talk to yourself when you feel like you missed the mark? You're going to not miss the mark, but keep in mind that I just feel like this week, more than any other week, Spirit really wants you guys to just be a little bit nicer to yourself, to really practice that, to really practice staying present, and also knowing that you absolutely have the ability to nail it. You absolutely have the ability to get straight to, like, get as close to manifesting what you want as possible. But the only way that you will get there, or one of the best ways that you can always get there through push. And we've done this before. I feel like you guys we've done that part before where you push and grind through, right? That's not what we're about here. It's 2022. Like, let's get caught up here. Right now, the best way that you can actually get there and enjoy the process in your manifestation journey is literally through listening to your intuition and being a little bit kinder to yourself, especially when you miss the mark. Can you be a little bit nicer to you? Because if you can, I just feel like you're just going to enjoy this a lot more. Not only that, but I also think that you're going to be able to manifest a lot better things from the place of feeling good versus from a place of beating yourself down to the ground. Does that make sense? So it's almost like good things manifest good things, whereas not so good things, they manifest trauma. Do you know what I mean? And right now, I think that a lot of you guys are very much like on this healing journey when you're not only aware of where the trauma was, but then you're also trying to kind of transmute a lot of that energy. So it's sort of like recognizing what was in the past and the way things were. It's that method no longer really works as well. And here we go. Now everybody's here. Perfect. Okay, can you take him to the other room, please? Well, that's fantastic. That's all I have for you, Virgo. On to Libra, 3149. Libras, what do you guys need to know? We have cleansing. I'm going to mute my watch because it's keep dinging. Ooh, beautiful. We have carnelian. And Libra, what do you need to know? Beautiful. We have the sun. I feel like to me, this is all about boundaries. To me, the cleansing is not so much of a cleansing as it is releasing. But what are you releasing? To me, you're releasing your expectations. You're releasing the walls that you have built up. That's what you're releasing. You're releasing other people's expectations of yourself. You're also releasing all of the things that you thought. It's almost like that that attachments of how you thought that things should be. And that primarily relates to me, this actually relates to the way that you are within your intimate relationships. So think family. Don't mind the noise. I honestly cannot control it. It's going to get wild. I feel like that's what you need to cleanse yourself of. I feel like you guys definitely need to, and like you guys really love that balance, right? But beyond balance, what you really need to know is whose balance are you creating? Like whose expectations were you measuring up to, right? Because I feel like up to this point, you've been really living under someone else's sort of rules and template. It's almost like you used the wrong template in a huge way. And then we have feed your creativity. This is like completely overlaid. Here we go. Let's see if you can see it. There we go. To me, this is feed your creativity. To me, this stone legit feels like you go and you are watching the sunset. You know what I mean? You watch the sunset and being in that present moment. And then I mean, how beautiful, because we have the sun. But that's what this whole reading feels like to me. It feels like that beautiful summer day that's filled with carelessness. It feels like the only thing that you really need to worry about is having that awesome tan that you're about to get, and really being in the present moment, having fun with the people that you love the most. That's what this whole thing feels like. And in order for that to feel like the sense of freedom, the sense of expansion and joy, in order for that to feel that good, you need to really let go of other people's expectations of you. But then you also have to tap into your creativity. But sometimes one of the best ways that you can get into your creativity is through doing. And so where will you be seen? What do you need to take action on? I feel like you guys need to really take action on something if you want. Well, obviously, you need to take action on these things in order for you to change your state. Because it's like some of you are just kind of sitting around waiting for like things to feel better, but then you're not taking action towards it to make it feel better. You know what I mean? So again, it's kind of like ask yourself this: what version of me would need to show up? Where can I include more creativity? Where can I include more fun? I'm getting more fun than creativity, because creativity will come through having fun. But go into the things that really light you up, honestly, and go into the things that feel like anything artistic, anything that kind of calms your mind will be really helpful here. But getting into creativity and getting into that flow of creativity, it's going to be so different for each of you. And a lot of it has a lot to do with something that will take your attention away from the stimulation, if that makes sense. Because if you can get into that flow, then it's going to feel like that summer day where nothing else matters except staying within the present moment. Interesting. Okay, next up we have Scorpio. 36, 56, Scorpio. Okay, Scorpios, what do you guys need to know? Now we have the full moon. I feel like we're getting like the lunar cycles. Okay, Scorpio, what do you need to know for this week? Then we have Sunstone. Take pleasure in the things that you do. What does Scorpio need to know for this week, please? Scorpio, what do you guys need to know? Ooh, 10 of Wands. Okay, let's unpack. Even though it's not the full moon yet, we're moving up to the full moon. So the full moon will actually be next week. I welcome clarity and guidance from the full moon. To me, the full moon is all about illuminating what's happening, but then also releasing what is no longer happening or no longer in alignment. So I feel like you're definitely going to be spending some of your time on trying to recalibrate what is not in alignment anymore. And then, but more importantly, I feel like what's actually going to happen is looking at all of the things that actually light you up, and the things that bring you joy. Again, we're back in with this joy thing. We're back in with, and maybe it's going to be shopping. I don't know. I definitely feel like you're going to have like an abundance kind of coming in and creating some movement, creating some momentum. Just an abundance, like that's kind of what I'm getting. An abundance of, perhaps it's going to be the activities that you're going to be doing, or that you're invited to, or the events that you're going to be invited to. That's sort of what I'm getting here, where it's like we're in full illumination, even though it's not the full moon just yet, which is kind of interesting. But definitely it just feels like that full moon vibe, you know what I mean, in like the best way possible, where you really basically you're invited to really give yourself the opportunity to make it fun. Can you invite fun? Can you invite and take pleasure even in the mundane? Can you make it a little bit more pleasurable, a little bit more enjoyable? Because if you can, then you're going to be able to cultivate a lot more of that for yourself. And I feel like in a huge way, you guys kind of need that. Like you kind of need that little bit of like a breath of fresh air, that little bit of a win where it's like, oh, I forgot that used to be fun. You know what I mean? Maybe it's just a different way that you go about your business, or just a different way that you show up at work, or the different way that maybe you just ask the mailman how they're doing. Just do something different within the routine that feels really boring, right? Because if you can kind of make it a little bit different, then it's not going to feel like it's stuck in a rut. You know what I mean? And when you're energetically stuck in a rut, it feels really stagnant. It just feels like you're like stomping around in mud. And honestly, like you have the ability to pick up so much momentum to you're able to me, this feels like you're able to carry so much more than what you're giving yourself permission for. And you can actually have fun in the process of doing it. You can have fun on the way to really manifesting more abundance within your life. But you need to give yourself permission to actually make it fun, because nobody else is with you all the time except you. So you need to really protect that energy of how you create your days. How does it actually feel? I feel like I'm kind of giving you guys like sort of the same advice, but not really. But I'm trying to pull you out of that mindset that it needs to be hard. That's what it is. Okay, we have 4120 and Sag, you're up. Excuse me. Okay, Sagis, what do you need to know? We have abundance. I already like it. Sagis, what do you guys need to know? We have Crystal Cola. Oh my God. Start fresh. Okay, Sagis, what do you guys need to know this week? And we have 3 of Wands. Okay. In like one word, this whole reading is about gratitude. That's it. That's your message. Not really. Abundance. You're not only are you provided for, you are. But, and if you didn't know, you will see examples of that. And if you don't believe me, ask for examples of that. I'm telling you. Just ask for examples of where do I have more than enough, you know? But then beyond that, beyond the superficial example and the superficial advice of like, oh, you're so abundant and everything's so great. That's not really what I want to tell you. What I want to tell you is that I can't make you see how abundant you are unless you give yourself permission to see it. So basically, what I would like you to do is to shift your perspective away from the things that are not working out. They're not working out, that they're terrible. They suck right now. They're just terrible. You just feel like you're at the bottom of the gutter right now. And I want you to look at that of what if that was actually, and I'm not even going to tell you, what if that was for you, not to you? I'm not going to tell you that. But what I want to tell you is, what if that was supposed to break down? I know, it sucks, right? What if that was supposed to break down? What if that was supposed to happen the way that it is happening? What if the people that were showing up, you would understood them that they're like little avatars? They just came in temporarily to teach you that something about yourself. They're not teaching you about them. They're teaching you about you. Okay. Not only that, but sometimes when things are so terrible that you feel like garbage at the end of the day, it's not because you're not worthy of love, but it's because something new is trying to come in, but it cannot come in. And I'm telling you, it cannot come in. If you're sitting in your freaking jacuzzi and you're looking out there like, oh, there's like so much more water there. Yeah. And you know what else is in that water? Freaking sharks and like Lyme disease. Like, what are we doing? And like a ton of mosquitoes. This is filtered. That isn't. So that's what I mean by abundance. And that's what I mean by gratitude. And I can't, like, you need to really figure out these practices that will help you. I'm recommending journaling. Look at all of those ties with all of the people and circumstances and situations that are keeping you so small. You're playing so small right now. And I so wish that you didn't, because honestly, I'm telling you that it's something new is trying to come in where you're about to blow up, but you can't get there. You're not going to be able to fully experience it unless, one, you give yourself permission to experience it, and two, unless you really already see in so many ways of what is already working out for you. And unfortunately, that's how it works. That's how manifestation works. You need to lean before you see the safety net, and you need to see how well and abundantly provided for you are before more can come in. Because I'm telling you, for the most part, people don't support people that are ungrateful, and they're coming from a place of resentment. You know what that manifests more of is more ungratefulness and more resentment. And the universe will provide you with more things and more circumstances and more people that will be more ungrateful, and more things and more circumstances where you feel not cared for, not appreciated. Like, you're going to manifest more of that. But the opposite of that is true as well. That the more grateful you are and the more you see in all the ways of how it's working out for you, the more that new chapter can actually begin and really start just kind of working for you. And it's like, this beautiful, like imagine like you just literally planted this beautiful flower, and you have that sense of anticipation of what that will become, and you're caring for it. So know that that's not getting resentment energy, that's getting love. So lead with that. That's all I have for you, Sag. I hope that this resonated. Capricorn, you're up next. See what you need to know, Capricorns. Capricorn, what do you need to know? We have new moon. We have sodalite. First of all, like, can we talk about how beautiful the stone is? It's so hard for me to capture this. Is that pretty? Capricorn, what do you need to know? Okay. We have the Queen of Cups. So with the new moon, again, we're getting back to gardening today. You're planting seeds. What seeds are we planting? To me, the new moon is all about the new beginnings, but also about like this darkness. It's like this darkness where I kind of feel like you're invited to be comfortable in the unknown. You're invited to be uncomfortable and be comfortable with being uncomfortable, if that makes sense. Get comfortable in breaking out of your own comfort zone and get comfortable in planting brand new seeds in a brand new direction. And the reason for that is, and I feel like you guys are actually like, you're pretty chill about that. Like it's like this comfortable, nice, easy, very like, we got this. It's like this very comfortable, confident energy. You know what I mean? Emotionally fully stable. You have your iced latte. You're like, it's good, right? But with that new thing, with the new plan, like with these new plans that you're kind of taking action on, we also have this thing that's asking you to really use your voice, and use your voice in a way where basically the way that we can get to the beach is by actually like speaking the things that you really want changed, right? And that could mean literally just being like, I would like to have my Sundays as my self-care day. Speak your voice, like use your voice, so that instead of sitting there like boo-hoo me, I'm overworking. No, we're not playing this game. Use your voice and speak your truth. And honestly, instead of sitting in a space of resentment, sit in a space of asking the universe of exactly what you want, get clear on what you want, and start speaking about it like it's unfolding already, because that's one of the number one ways that like you're kind of like moving towards that. We can't give you something that you can't even ask for. You know what I mean? We can't like how would we know what you need? I don't know what you need. Do you? Ask yourself, start challenging that internal narrative of what is it that you need, of what is working out for you. Like start challenging a lot of that. And that starts with looking at new directions, looking at what is it that I really want? Where do I really want to plant that energy seed? Because like new moon energy, and whenever we're looking at our intentions, to me, those are like little sparks of energy and you only have so much of that within a day. So it's like plant it on the things that actually light you up. Plant it on the things that will get you to the beach. You know what I mean? Don't plant it on like getting into like the Facebook arguments and then what. Like, please don't waste your energy with that. You're so much better than that. Speak up on the things that actually matter to you, and use your voice and really speak your truth on the things that will actually get you closer to getting you to the beach, getting you to that dream life. Because I know that you have somewhat of a clarity around that, but really start digging deeper into like what does that really mean? What does that dream life really look like? Get as clear as humanly possible, and then start manifesting in that area instead of wasting your energy on, because I feel like you're going to get a lot of distractions this week. You're going to get a lot of people that will be coming in with the gossip and coming in with the latest like hottest whatever, and it's just like I just need you to really recognize that those are all the tests that are kind of coming through from the universe trying to derail you away from like how bad do you want it? How bad do you want to sit on the beach and making passive income, for example? Most of us desire those things, but most of us will get distracted in the process because somebody comes over gossiping about nonsense that doesn't add or take away value from your life. So please don't get distracted. Focus on the things that actually make a difference in your life. On to Aqua. 52, 53. Aqua. What do you need to know, my fellow Aquas? My beautiful Aquas, what do you need to know? What do you guys need to know this week? Trust. Always. I always have this. There's always the leaning. There's always the trusting. Okay, let's see what else is coming up. This is Aquas need to know, please. What do my fellow Aquas need to know this week? Celestite. Aquas, what do you need to know? And then we have the King of Cups. Okay. Again, we can't really see like where we're going. And at this point, I think that that's relatively obvious that it's almost like that's sort of like part of the meal. You know what I mean? It's sort of like when you start eating a Big Mac, you kind of expect that the sauce will go everywhere. So right now, like in order for this thing to kind of come to fruition, you just need to trust that energetically what you're putting out is what you're pulling in. But then also there's this element, and I kind of feel that like viscerally, there's this element like it says soothe your soul. Beyond soothing your soul, I kind of feel like what we're really invited to do is actually the opposite of what your logic is telling you to do. Because what your logic is sort of telling you is like, you need to push more so that you get more. And that's not really what I want you to do. That's not what I want you to focus on. I want you to really look at what are the areas of your life that you have managed to neglect in the process because you lost sight of the journey is just as important as the destination. So sometimes as you're kind of looking out into the world, and you're like, oh, you see like this massive vision. We all see this massive vision of like, oh my gosh, and then like there's like 1,000 to-do lists on your to-do list, right? And it's like, no, you can get there without really burning yourself out. And I feel like most of us are actually on the verge of burning out for the past couple of months. So do some things this week that will actually recharge your batteries, and actually do those things. Don't just say, yeah, I signed up for that whatever class because it seems interesting, and then you never even do the stupid class. Do the class. I don't care if it's a class. I don't care if it's just like half an hour for yourself to read your book, but get lost in the things that actually make you happy. Because if you do that emotionally, it places you in this beautiful, deep confidence space where you're no longer asking, and you're no longer going to have that voice inside your head that says you should be doing more. It should be more. You're still not doing enough. So it really allows you to kind of quiet down that naysayer inside of you. But then also getting there also shows that you're taking initiative based on your actual values. And I know that for all of us, that's actually really important, of not only how you get there, but you get there with integrity, right? And then, and just trusting that if you feel it internally, and I know you guys feel this internally, that when it feels in alignment, it lights your soul on fire. And we have the ability to create so much momentum and such a beautiful, safe space that so many need. And we need you at like the highest capacity. We don't need you vibrating at the lowest, at bare minimum. And I know you can get by, and I know that you can hustle your way through, but that's not the energy we're tapping into. We're going to grab our iced lattes. We're going to go on that boat and just flow with all of it. Find your own flow in whatever that means for you. Create those circumstances, schedule it in just like any other task, because the thing is that it's equally important for you to get into that flow state as it is for you to clean the bathroom, as it is for you to scrub the floors, or doing any of the chores that you feel like it's an obligation for you. This needs to be as much of an obligation, because you neglecting yourself will leave you burnt out, stressed out, and really freaking resentful, and you can literally bring hell to earth. I've seen it because I am one. So the invitation here is that we don't need to get there through hustle. We can get to our goals, and knowing that there's more than enough time. You're not running out of time. You're right on time with everything, but you need to recalibrate and stop being so stubborn about it. Be a little bit more flexible of how you get there. And emotionally, if you kind of attend to that aspect of yourself, it will feel so much better, because then you're still going to be within integrity. And I know that that's very important to us. And last but not least, Pisces, my beautiful Pisceans. 52, no, it's 57. Oh my goodness, it was 57. 57. Pisces. Let's see what you guys need to know. Pisces, what do you need to know? When you guys watch this on a replay, look at all three of your signs. So look at your sun, your moon, and your rising sign. And then that way the reading will actually, not that it will not make sense otherwise, but you watching just your sun sign will give you only one aspect of your week. So I'm going to go back once I'm finished here, and I'll give you guys the full timestamp. Although right now in the chat, it's in there. Okay, Pisces. Ooh, how beautiful is this? Surrender. Again, can we talk about this? You're going to have a hard time surrendering. I know you. You're stubborn. Pisces, what do you need to know? My beautiful psychic friends. Ocean Jasper. Schedule yourself in. I feel like I'm going to give you the exact same messages I just gave Aqua. Okay. So first up, we have surrender. Then we have Ocean Jasper. And then we have, once again, we have the Three of Swords. So let's unpack this. I feel like you guys are being stubborn. I feel like you guys are being stubborn, and like Spirit doesn't want you to be stubborn. Spirit wants you to actually make your life a little bit easier this week, if possible. Be a little bit easier going in the way that you kind of go about like having conversations with people. Don't be so stubborn and stuck on and and I feel like you guys get offended so quickly about things that actually don't matter. You know what I mean? Like, but I also feel like it's almost like there's like the deep attachment of how things should be. That's the part that you need to surrender to. So you don't need to surrender as in like you're at the mercy of all of your circumstances, but what you do need to do, and like you're invited to do really, is to release that expectation that you know how you're going to get there, because you don't. Like, allow the universe to surprise you. And allow the universe to surprise you by actually going in on you, because this is all about making time for you, making time for your hobbies, making time for the things that actually bring you joy, making time for the people that bring you joy and light you up, or just change your circumstances just a little bit, you know? Because otherwise, I just kind of feel like we're heading to this sense of comparison, like your grass is greener than the neighbors. You know what I mean? Like we're getting back into this whole comparison game, but we're also, it's almost like you're creating this crisscross applesauce of a heartbreak, because then you have something negative that's coming in, and instead of looking at it like, okay, it like you don't like you're not attaching so much of a meaning to this, but you're creating this whole storyline around it, and then you're adding way more meaning to it than what it actually means, if that makes sense. So try not to create too much of an attachment to the external circumstances, because really at the end of the day you get to choose what type of meaning you add to that. So that's where the surrender kind of comes in. The surrender really comes in asking you to just look at it from a totally different point of view. Can you look at it from a point of view of like, it's okay if it comes, but it's okay, but I'm going to survive if it doesn't come. You know what I mean? It's okay if he calls, but I'm also okay if he doesn't. If it's in alignment, it will come. And then having that sense of relaxation about it gives you so much more freedom emotionally. You guys are very emotional, so knowing that you don't have to create like a full-blown storyline around everything that happens. Give yourself the permission to really love you first. That's your ultimate message, is give yourself permission to really place you at the top of that food chain first, because if you do, then everything just flows just a little bit easier, and it doesn't feel so mucky, and it doesn't feel like the whole world is out to get you, you know? Because I know that it feels like you're underappreciated and not loved, but you are absolutely loved. But sometimes it's just not going to come from the people that you would expect it from, and it's not going to come in a form that you were expecting it from. So really the surrender actually comes from a place of surrender this expectation and this attachment that it needs to come through in a certain way. You know what I mean? Respect and love can be shown in multiple ways. So just give yourself permission to just receive it in whatever way it lands. It's still love. Love is love. And if we learn anything about the month of June, hello, we learned that love has many forms, and all of it is accepted. It's all energetic at the end of the day. This is all I have for you guys. Now that we've gone through everybody, if you would like to, and I wanted to add this, if you would like to have more of a personal reading, but personal now, very proud to offer personal readings. I do quick little express readings where we do like a 1 card pull, but I also started offering 3 card readings. And if you wanted to go even deeper because you needed more guidance, my recommendation is to actually book a mindfulness based coaching session, because there we also pull your cards. We focus on one area of your life, but then we dive deeper. And then I give you some of the takeaways, and I give you actual actionable things that you can do, where you're not sort of like, what do I do with this? You know what I mean? Like you're not sort of stuck, but you actually get something tangible, whether it's like cord cutting or energetic releasing, or like something that you kind of take with you in order for you to move forward and then help yourself with creating more of an expansion for yourself. So if you wanted to do that, right now in the description, there's a link where you can just click on it, schedule yourself in, and you are good to go. This is all I wanted to share with you guys. I hope that this video has resonated with all of you. Please watch the replay and watch your your sun sign, your moon sign, and your rising. I think that will kind of give you an more encompassing message about your week. And I will see you guys actually this Wednesday for a meditation practice. Thanks so much for joining me. And you can obviously support the channel by giving it a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all of the good things, all of the good vibes. And I will see you guys again on Wednesday. Bye.